Hey everyone, it's me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles Realtor. Today I'm going to be talking with Natalie Salinas from Movement Mortgage, and we have an important topic for you regarding the loan process and a loan that might work for you when it comes to your home buying. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, take a moment to do so in the next couple seconds, and we'll be right back. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles Realtor, and I'm here with Natalie Salinas from Movement Mortgage. She is one of Movement Mortgage's top loan officers, branch managers, has been in the business for over 20 years.
Oh boy.
Yes. She's helped a number of my clients, which is why we're doing a couple of series of videos together, because she's really been amazing. I think of just even my clients that had that issue at the very end where the mortgage payment and rematched their loan, and she's just phenomenal, okay? Thanks. So that being said, our topic today is entrepreneurial loans, and I want you to explain what exactly does that mean, who fits that category, and what is that loan?
So a lot of the time an entrepreneur is somebody who has multiple corporations, somebody who has LLCs, K-1 documents, or what about our standard like entertainment borrower who has W-2s and 1099s and a corporation and residuals and royalties. You know, it's people with like complex income and more than one source of income most of the time, because normally an entrepreneur has their hands in a bunch of different types of income and sources of income.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is actually, I think, particularly important here in Los Angeles, where a lot of people work in entertainment. Even though there's a writer's strike right now, I remember I represented a dancer, one of Beyonce's dancers, and so she had a salary with Beyonce when they were on tour, but then she got paid out from another entity when there were rehearsals, and then when there were, one-offs, it was something totally different. So her collective income was very different, and then she's become very entrepreneurial. So she would travel and do like dance boot camps, in other countries, and get paid for that. So her, like you just said, it was very complex, a lot of different income sources. And why is that important? Because you and I both know underwriting doesn't like stuff.
Or doesn't understand it.
Understand.
It's important that you get with somebody who does understand that income, knows how to underwrite it, is going to fight for your file and fight for the true income that's being used. But that kind of income is variable, right? So we need to see a history of it and understand what's earned yearly for it. If it's all paid into a corporation and the corp nets zero, then we're going to look at like a bank statement only loan instead of just a standard tax return loan. So there's different ways to structure these kind of files, but it's definitely important that you have somebody that understands what that kind of income is, how to underwrite that kind of income, because if it gets stuck in a big bank, it's probably going to be a no, because if it's not consistent W-2s over the past 2 or 3 years, they're not going to really understand how it works.
I think that's important to mention, because I know sometimes I have clients that say, oh, I got a pre-approval with Wells Fargo or Chase. And so when it comes to loans, those big banks usually have what is called A paper products, and everything has to fit in a little box. And it's very limited, correct?
Most of the time, yeah.
And so where the difference is with what you do in these types of programs, you have several options,
Yeah, we're a mortgage bank, and IMB is what we call it. And so we have everything, all products. We can broker out to different investors, broker out to different credit unions and non-QM lenders, which means non-qualified mortgage. And that's normally our bank statement only loans, our asset depletion loans, things like that. So we work with kind of the gamut of everything mortgage, so to speak. So all different options that are available, we're gonna, if it's out there, we're gonna be able to work with you and get it for you.
Let me ask you this question, because I know sometimes a resistance I might face with, say, somebody who is struggling with their pre-approval with another lender, a big bank, and they say, well, but the bank is telling me if I do the loan with them, because I have a bank account, they're going to reduce the interest rate by 1/4 point. How are you able to provide a better product and service when that happens, because ultimately
That's
they
tough.
can get a better product with
Yeah.
you, right? But
I mean, they're going to get better timelines. They're going to get better communication. Overall, the process is going to be nicer and more swift, let's say. But sometimes if you have a lot of assets and a lot of money in a bank, I'm not going to be able to beat that rate. Citibank right now is kind of leading the market. So if you put a bunch of money there, you're going to get a nice discount on the rate. Not to like, you know, give Citibank the business, but it's true right now. That's what's happening. And we can't really fight with it, but will you have a smooth, easy process? Probably not. I mean, they will ask you for every single document you could possibly get. And also if your file is even the slightest bit intricate or what we call sophisticated, it's going to be a problem there. You have to be A+. You have to be everything perfectly simple, W-2 salary borrower, like, and then you should be clean enough to go there. But it's tricky. It's risky too.
Right. But someone who owns their own business, has an LLC or you know,
I would double app for sure.
Yeah.
It's important to have, you know, a couple pre-approvals in that case, because a big bank is not normally the safest way to go when you've got, you know, like you said, entrepreneurial income.
Right, and the thing that I've seen is they'll tell you, like, not to poop on Citibank's parade, but they'll tell you they can get it done, and we get to the week before you're closing, and they can't. And then we're scurrying around trying to get you somewhere else, but if, as what Natalie said, if you've already double apped, you have her as your backup, she can jump right in, take over, and get you closed, usually like in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, easy. Yeah. It's the smartest way to do it, for sure, if you want to take a chance. Yeah. Or we just know from the beginning, and I can tell you by looking at your docs, like, there's no way this is going to fly. Like, don't even try it. But, you know, we review it all, and ultimately we want what's best for you. Ultimately, I do want you to get the best rate if it's available. So if you can, go for it, of course, you know.
If you are considering buying a home and you're really not sure where to start and you need to talk to somebody to get an understanding of if you're ready, what the appropriate steps are, should you be looking before a pre-approval, how much money do you need saved, we can schedule an appointment. I have a link in my calendar below. It's the Calendarly link, 15-minute quick conversation to get us started, and I will follow up with you with some key points of our next steps. I look forward to strategizing with you and helping you buy your new home. I think the other thing that's really important when it comes to an entrepreneurial loan, bank stated loan, is when you are self-employed or 1099 and you have a lot of tax write-offs, right? Like, we want to, when you're working for yourself, write off as much as possible, but then the flip side is banks don't like that because your income looks much lower than what you're bringing in because, like
you want to
said,
take the tax write-off,
right?
Take the deductions, yeah.
Right. So your types of programs allow just to show the income that's coming in and qualify someone on that, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Bank statement only loans are amazing. So we take 12 months of bank statements and we add up all the deposits. And it's really that simple. We'll take maybe an expense ratio for it. So we'll like deduct a little bit of the income based on knowing that you have expenses. But overall, we get to use all of your deposit income and take that as your, average it and take that as your monthly income. And that's how we qualify you. Rates are higher, of course. 10% down is a standard minimum. But it's worth it because you can get into the house, and then let's say the next year you don't file quite as aggressively, we can refinance you and get you out of that loan.
Okay, I think that's important to know. And this is something I'm going to throw in and ask you right now. I still have, especially the younger buyers I've never bought before, that say, oh, I'm waiting for interest rates to drop. And the thing I always share is like, look, you can wait, but just know there's lots of people waiting, which means what we saw over a year and a half ago where prices were being pushed up 300, 400, 600,000, that'll happen again. And if you buy right now, the home is at a lower price and you're locked in. So your monthly is not going up. And then if interest rates do come down, which we always hope they will.
I do think,
if and when, okay, then you can refinance. Because typically, how long do you have to be in your loan before you can refinance?
6 months.
6 months. So it's better to make that move now.
Certainly.
Because what if the rates come down in December?
Yeah. No, and then you're already in. You're in the home. If you're okay with the payment, just move in, live in your home, create your equity, stay in it. If rates come down, great, you get a lower payment. It's always still a good idea to buy, in my opinion. I mean, I know I'm in the business, but I have people that got rates in the 7s in November, but they didn't have nearly the competition that we're seeing starting to build up, and so they got into the homes that they wanted. They didn't have to write $100,000 over asking, so they got in for less, yes, with a little bit of a higher rate, but they're in, and even since November, the values have been coming up so much.
So they're in
it's
at a lower price than what they would be today. 9 months later, about 9 months later, and today I'm seeing condos and homes, move-in condition, all have competition. It might be 4 offers, it might be 11 offers. I saw 25 on a property in Westlake Village that I was working with, and so it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's just that you have less competition than before. It's not pushing up as much because of the interest rates, but it's still really good to make the move now.
Yeah.
So someone that wants to do the entrepreneurial loan, and I have all of Natalie's information below, what's the steps they take with you?
So normally we have like an upfront intro conversation where I can understand how you earn your money, and I can take good notes and really get a feeling on what the file is going to look like. I like to review the tax returns first just to see what everything is. If there is a way to get you qualified on a standard loan, we're going to go that route because it's going to be most beneficial for you. It's going to be a lower rate. If not, then I look at other ways to structure and finance a loan. But we have an upfront intro conversation. I send you my application to get started. It's a link. It's pretty people friendly. It's standard information about housing and employment, and then you will actually upload the docs into the secure portal of the application. I go in and review it within like 24 hours because we're pretty fast. So I'll go in, I'll review it within 24 hours. I'll get back to you. We're going to talk about how we're going to do this loan, how I'm structuring it, what programs are available, what rates are, what that means for your monthly payments. We talk about your comfort levels, and then I draw you a pre-approval, and then you go shopping. It's basically the process.
Amazing. And you're able to do that stuff really quickly. So
Yeah.
I always tell people that when I send them to you, like, hey, she can get you done less than a day. So it's important. I want to thank you so much for today and sharing this information with me. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and click the subscribe button below. If you want to speak to Natalie, all of her contact information is below. And if you're just kind of thinking, I want to buy at some point, I'm not sure the process, and you want to get on my calendar for a quick chat and schedule a consultation, that link is also below. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.
Bye.